Break.
Oh,
Hello and welcome to Geeks of the Round. I'm your host, Matt Moore, and we are here discussing Legends of Tomorrow, Night of the Hawk, episode 108. I'm your host, Matt Moore, and let's introduce the panel. Charles, what did you think of this episode?
this is my thoughts on the episode. Right there. Yeah. I did not like this episode at all. All right, I don't...
I'm sorry, Charles, the camera wasn't focused on you. It was still focused on me from when I did the intro, so could you do that again?
I think you're going to hide me from broadcast. I'm getting wise to your thing. Yeah.
No. The camera was still on me because I was doing the intro.
All right, fine. Yeah, this is pretty much my stance on the episode itself.
Wait. Let me focus the camera on you again.
Okay, yeah.
Why isn't this clicking over?
Can I put my middle finger down now?
It's not clicking over. Oh, your middle finger's up?
God damn it. You know, fuck it. All right, yes. I hated this episode. Oh my God. I don't care about any of the other episodes of this season. This was probably by far the worst. And for one reason. It took place in the fucking 50s. I can't stand anything to do with time travel, whether it be Back to the Future or anything else for that matter. You go in the 50s, you're dead to me. I cannot stand that shit. I mean, it actually gets me riled up to the point where I'm actually getting riled up right now, so I'm just going to stop and move it over to Lou.
All right, first off, before we move it over to Lou, I just want to make it very clear that the camera was absolutely focused on you. I just wanted to see how long we could have a middle finger on the camera.
God damn it. You're a goddamn asshole.
I am. Go on, Lou. What did you think of the episode?
Well, since Whedon absolutely hated the episode, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up and a fucking smile.
God damn it, Lou, I hate you.
I really enjoyed it. I found the pacing was good. You know, I didn't want to go through my screen and punch that one bitch in the face for insulting Kendra like that. Talk about, oh, we have a little spare bedroom on top of the garage for the help. Like, bitch, what the fuck wrong with you?
And honestly, I thought this episode was as good as any of the other episodes, which basically means I hated it. I've generally just not liked this show. I really wanted to like it. I don't.
Dude, but it got renewed just for you.
It just got renewed. Seriously, you don't understand how upset I was. Like, when I read the news, I was at work. I'm not supposed to be reading certain things while I'm at work, but I was. And I saw that, and like literally everyone around me was like, "What's his problem?" Because I was just like, "No!" Pissed me off.
But I actually like it because it means we're gonna hopefully change crews.
Yeah,
so
that's
I like
true.
that element.
If that happens, if they end up changing it up, remember that fucking Supergirl fucking sucked for the first half of the season too. So maybe this show's going to get better. It's very possible that this show's going to get better. But so far, damn, it sucked. At least in my opinion, it sucked.
Well, you know what? I'm actually still pissed off that it's this is another 2-parter. The next episode is going to still be in the fucking 50s.
All right. So apparently Charles got raped by someone back in the 50s. That's my theory. That's my working.
I just don't like the 50s. I don't like their Pleasantville type mentality. All the smiles and the colors and the stupid clothes, like the skirts with the poodles on them.
You understand that every single movie that has to do with the 50s, unless it was made in the 50s, like tells exactly like the reality of it, right? Like in this episode, you had the poodle skirts and you had the nifty cars, but you also had the racism and you had the experimental brain shit, which was happening in the 50s because there was no medical oversight. You have all the dark side of it as well, and everything that is in the 1950s has shown that, including Back to the Future. It's showing how non-ideal idyllic it is. Is that the word? Especially Pleasantville. That's what Pleasantville was about. Was about like you have the 1950s in this pretty little bubble, but then you fucking get there and you realize how crappy it was, unless you happen to be this very small subset of people.
And to go off that, there's still towns like this, Whedon. I'm pretty sure in your state alone, you have a few of those places that are racist as fuck.
Your city alone.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just don't like it because that stuff always makes me cringe. I mean, during the whole episode, I was like, God damn it, do I have to finish this?
I know what you were thinking. You're like, I'd rather go back to Game of Thrones season 1.
Yes. Okay?
I think we're all thinking that, and maybe a little bit of when does Daredevil come out? There was that in
exactly,
there too.
Yeah.
I was fine with the episode.
Yeah, I'm getting caught up on season 4, and I'm looking forward to the discussion for Game of Thrones.
I have one really good thing to say about this episode that I have not been able to say about any other episode. Rip Hunter did not make any extremely stupid decisions this episode.
That
for
is
the
true.
First
No, he
time
didn't.
ever.
This is true.
Like, it's episode 8. In 7 episodes previous to this, he has been a dumbass. And
Maybe
in this episode, he maybe because of the fact that he wasn't really running things. I mean, he was, but he wasn't. He kind of let the team do its shit.
Maybe for once he's finally learning and letting the team help.
What's the term? Eighth time's the try?
Yeah, 8 times the charm.
Yeah. Hey, well, what do you expect for its mid-season finale, dude?
To be honest, I have no idea.
I mean, for Legends of, even though it's only a 2-week mid-season finale, it wasn't that bad.
I think it's all been I think it's all been pretty bad. Is when you make a show about second stringers, the show's gonna be a second string show. And that's essentially what's happening here. I mean, the person with the most amount of screen time on here is Sarah Lance. And even she was basically a sidekick to Arrow.
But she was a good sidekick, let's be real.
She was an awesome sidekick. And I think that she fucking kicked Laurel Lance's ass 8 ways from Sunday. But you wouldn't make a show about Laurel Lance either, would you?
I could honestly be happy if they killed Laurel Lance.
And that is why I think that the Hunter Mockingbird TV show for Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to fall flat on its fucking face because it's a TV show about...
They're still doing that? They're still doing
that.
Yeah,
they're going to set it up. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is setting up to where they're going to break off into their own thing because they're going to be set up for a murder that they didn't commit. That's what I read.
And here's the thing: is in that case, same with Agent Carter. Even though I think the show's going to fall on its face, it's going to last forever because of the fact that it's made, produced, distributed, filmed on the same set, blah blah blah. All Disney. Disney controls absolutely everything, which means that they don't have to pay for shit, they don't have to sell shit, they don't have to go through a middleman, they don't have to do any of that. They do everything on one set, on the ABC set.
And I just read something a little while ago.
The costs are considerably less than a regular show. Let's say Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time's got to cost like 3 times as much as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does, even though they use a similar amount of effects.
Yeah, I just read this a few minutes ago before we started. Marvel's got 10 different shows in production for the TV side.
And let's hope that they're going to be good. Now, how many of those are Netflix, though?
It didn't specify.
Because that's got to be 4 shows right there, at least.
With also the possibility of bringing in shows for, like, Punisher.
Yeah.
And I think they might also, like, depending on the what's the word? The opinions on Elektra, she might even get her own show.
I could actually see that, but and I would be happier with an Elektra show than I was with Jessica Jones. We all know that I didn't like Jessica Jones because of the fact that it would be an action show, where Jessica Jones was a show that occasionally had action. It wasn't necessarily an action show.
Well, Jessica Jones was more. Jessica Jones was more about like psychological type stuff.
Yeah, psychological. Yeah, exactly. Psychological drama. I think an Elektra show would actually be amazing, especially if it didn't happen in the U.S. But
You know what's funny?
You know what? But hey, you want to? Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead.
I think Netflix is trying to set it up to where they have a show come out every month for Marvel, and they could build their roster that way.
But you know what else is interesting? Legends of Tomorrow, despite me hating it.
That's just it. Is okay. So what we have is we have Jackson going out on a date with a white girl. Ooh.
Who was stealing him at that?
Yes, and we had Kendra, quote unquote, married to Ray, and of course that was a big deal because it was the 50s. We had Stein being a doctor, with Sarah being his nurse, which was
funny nurse.
Which was pretty amusing because at one point he's all like, "Yeah, I'd like some coffee." She's all like, "Yeah, so would I. Black, 2 sugars, thanks." That was pretty awesome. Sarah, of course, getting her lesbo on.
Well, she's not gay.
Only kissing.
She's bi.
Hey, right now she's playing the gay role more. I mean, she's playing the lesbian role more.
Yeah, and that's just it. Is we don't know for sure that she's bi. We're pretty sure she's bi because she used to date guys. But
she dated Oliver.
Sexualities completely.
But maybe it's just Oliver that she had a thing for.
Yeah. I had a friend back in Long Beach. This was years ago. His name was Doug, and he flirted with every female that came near him. Completely straight, except for one guy. There was one guy that he was hot for, and I don't get it. I don't. But whatever. I don't judge either. There's nothing wrong with that. But in any case. So let me see. So we had the interracial thing. Then we had Vandal Savage, who figured out that Kendra was pretending she didn't have her powers yet, which was pretty obvious. Like him trying to be as normal as possible, came off as pretty disingenuous.
But the thing is that the thing that I had a problem with that is that. Would it even really matter if she emerged or not? I mean, she is who she is. Whether she has her powers or not is irrelevant. I mean, killing her would still, strengthen his powers, regardless of if she emerged or not.
I don't believe that is the case, because if that were the case, he would just look for her when she's a baby and kill her every time she's a baby. And just keep killing her over and over and over and over and over again. I think the lore says that she actually has to emerge for him to.
Yeah, I think they have to have their powers for him to get stronger.
Okay.
I think. I mean, it's a stupid rule, but it makes sense story-wise.
Well, it's comic book logic, so what can you do?
Dude, I'm sorry, but those. What the fuck were those ugly-ass human birds? Them things were ugly. They were parademons in my eyes.
Probably parrot demons. Yeah, those parrot demons. Those guys are fucked up.
In 50s clothing.
First off, put this up here just to piss off Charles.
You know what? Fuck you. Okay. Yeah. The only Back to the Future movie that was good in my book was the second one, Part 2. That was the only good one.
Okay. What else? We had. Yeah, I mean, the monsters were pretty fucking stupid. I mean, they really were. I have that at work. I have the actual figure at work.
Doc.
Yeah, Doc Brown. Yeah.
I'm only showing these things to piss off Charles. The time travel shit.
I don't hate time travel. I just hate time travel that takes place in the fucking 50s.
Everything I showed you took place in the fucking 50s. Every picture I just showed you.
God damn it.
So, but yeah, the parakeet monsters, I don't know what the fuck they were, but they were pretty fucking stupid. And
boy, did they have a fucked up grill.
Yes, exactly. They had like this big old fucking beaver tooth. It was weird.
Actually, I think with those
was that fucking wide.
I think what those was an attempt to replicate a beak.
Yes, I don't know. But yeah, it's par for the course for this fucking show. It is. And then you end up having the end. Another thing that was par for the course for this show. You have Kronos show up. One motherfucking bounty hunter shows up, and a time master, Captain Cold,
Jackson and Stein.
Jackson and Stein, who could combine to become. That's the name I'm forgetting.
Firestorm.
Yeah, none of them can fucking land a single shot at this guy. The guy was not dodging behind barriers. The guy was standing in the middle of a fucking room, and no one could hit him with a bullet or freeze ray or anything.
Well, to be fair, Stein and Jackson didn't merge because, Stein was like, if we merge, we can fuck up this ship.
They've merged plenty of times before in smaller places.
But I think it's something to do with the mechanics of the ship. That's why they didn't want to merge. And then, I guess they're trying to give off the effect that Kronos is like a Boba Fett type of a villain.
You shoot fucking Boba Fett with nuclear blast, Boba Fett's going down. You shoot Boba Fett with a fucking ice gun, Boba Fett's gonna freeze.
Well, he didn't freeze. He didn't freeze the dudes that he shot in the hospital.
He got shot in the hospital?
He shot the guys in the hospital, but they just like bounced back 5 minutes later.
Yeah, that's a little thing I like to call continuity error, because back when Captain Cold first showed up in the Flash, when he would shoot his weapon, it kills, and then of course when he did that to his father in season 2, it kills, and then of course in Legends of Tomorrow, his gun doesn't kill anybody.
Maybe he doesn't have a set to kill.
Oh, so it's like the Star Trek phasers.
He might have it set at a low density to not hurt anyone because it is time travel, and it might fuck with the timelines.
Butterfly effect.
I agree with you, Lou, but it would be nice if they actually explained that, because...
Yeah, I agree, because, so far the only person the gun has killed is a heat wave.
Yeah.
We don't know that he's dead. We won't know he's dead until we see a body.
That is true. That is true. That's just it, is my thought is why didn't Captain Cold literally just grab a Rory, instead of killing Rory, bring him to 1946, leave him there, Rory would be super fucking happy as hell, and then they go back in time and make that particular timeline go away. Therefore, Rory still dies, but he dies happy.
Oh, in 2046?
Yeah, 2046. Just fucking leave him there.
Because that future was not set in stone. It was one of many potential futures that could still be changed.
Exactly, which means that it could have been erased, and he would have been erased with it.
Well, we know we're going back there for season 2, because I think we're going to get Connor Hawke as part of the cast.
Maybe, and I hope we do. I mean, it'd be kind of, well, I don't know. Does an archer have a place in? How do you blend in as an archer?
Depending how they're going to use it, because I mean, it's dependent. See, my thing with season 2 is who's the villain for the whole season, and how is it going to play out? Because honestly, if it's Vandal Savage again for season 2, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah.
It has to be something where someone else figures out how to mess with time, and then they're going after him.
What if it's someone big like Apocalypse?
Oh, no. Oh, for Christ's sake, no. No, I so hope that they don't bring in Darkseid. I really hope that they don't.
Oh, that's what I meant, Darkseid. I'm sorry, Apocalypse is Marvel. But Darkseid, yes, you were right.
He's not coming because he's the Justice League villain.
What, they've confirmed Darkseid is the Justice League villain?
Pretty much. You just got to read between the lines. It's set up in BVS.
Well,
that's who the villain is.
That's going to be interesting because we'll finally be able to see his Omega rays on the big screen. That's going to be cool.
So, I don't think they would bring him, but it has to be someone probably just as good. And honestly, I don't want Rip Hunter to be my team captain next season.
Exactly.
Well, we all know he's going to be. He's the star of the show.
No, you could get another time traveling, like say for instance the chick from last episode.
With Baxter?
Why not? You don't have to keep Rip. I'm sorry, Rip. He's stupid.
Well, let's just say that his love for his wife and his child make him stupid.
Well, or okay, if it is Rip, he accomplishes his mission this season, and he redeems himself to where you're like, okay, maybe I could deal with you for one more season, because now you got all the stupidness out of your system.
Or he could defeat God damn it, I almost said it. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to say Randall Savage, okay? Yes. He defeats Randall. Vandal's like redheaded stepbrother. And he succeeds in saving the lives of his wife and his son. And he goes to live with them. But then his wife says, you need to go do what you're meant to do to work with these legends. And then we get him in season 2.
Yeah, because he corrected the time. He corrected that, but then they still die anyway.
Because of course correction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So.
All right. What if they brought in Lex Luthor?
Oh.
That's already in the movie. Never mind. I was gonna say, like, imagine if Lex Luthor ended up getting his own time travel machine, his own Wave Rider.
Well, if they do, like, it's not going to happen. But what if they did bring in Lex Luthor and he'd be played by Michael Rosenbaum?
Somebody save me. No.
Well, what the hell? This week, Hall H, San Diego Comic-Con.
Wait, that's this week?
Or you know what?
That was the.
Spoiler alert for Flash. What if they end up having Hunter Zolomon? What if Hunter Zolomon somehow gets to full power and he actually is Zoom and he starts time traveling? What if they're chasing after him?
Yeah, but then what did you have to bring Barry onto this, or Speedster?
That's just it. Is they're bringing Barry into this shit every once in a while anyway, aren't they?
They yet to do it.
Yeah, but aren't they supposed to?
But you know what? We don't need Barry. We could use one of the smaller speedsters, like a Wally West, when he gets.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. We could bring Wally West onto the show and make him one of the legends.
Yeah, you could change. See, this is what makes this show good, is the interchangeable characters.
Yes.
Like, maybe you keep a Sarah and maybe a Ray. Well, no, I'd rather keep Captain Cold versus Ray.
To be honest, I'd rather see Captain Cold back on The Flash. I always loved his episodes on The Flash.
I agree. I agree with that, and I think that Captain Cold really has... The character has really kind of sold out in this, and he has sold out ever since the final episode of Flash he was in. That was the first time he sold out, because that was the first time he said, yes, I'm a man of my word, I'm a man of honor, except today. Which does not make you a man of honor. And then immediately after that, they end up putting him on Legends of Tomorrow, and he's all like, oh, now I'm a good guy. I'm a bad guy, but I'm a good guy.
But that's the thing that I don't understand, because, I mean, yes, I know that it's the TV show and not the comics, but in the comics, he was always the bad guy.
No, that's not true.
He wasn't?
I mean... There were times he did work with the Flash on occasions, yes. I mean, he was always the bad guy, but he did work with the Flash to accomplish some goals. And I'm trying to remember what some of them were, but yes.
The reason being he makes a good teammate on this show, he just doesn't fit on the Flash anymore. His story don't fit on the Flash no more. He's more diverse on this team where he can be, utilized better, character-wise. On The Flash, he's going to be a second to third tier character. And if you give him a story, it ain't going to be entertaining. Because he's going to lose. So leaving him here makes it more fun with certain characters. Like, let's be real. You can do without Ray. He could pop up every now and then on the Arrow, like they use him. And pretty sure if Mr. Terrific gets powers, maybe he becomes a teammate on this show.
What is Mr. Terrific's powers?
I think it's all those spears.
No, he's tech-based, if I remember. So most of his stuff is gadgets and shit. Here, let me look on here. Powers, abilities, and equipment. He has a natural aptitude for having natural aptitudes. That's literally the description. Picking up complicated skills quickly. He is the third smartest man on Earth. Aided by his T-spears, he has multiple functions, including holographic projection, laser grids, recording, blah, blah, blah. He is invisible to all forms of electronic detection. And that is his only actual superpower, is that he's invisible to technology. Everything else is just him being super fucking smart and making cool devices.
I think I found a season 2 villain. It's going to be someone based with magic. Damien Dark could get his powers back. They use him and bring Vixen on as one of the teammates.
Instead of giving her own show.
Yeah. Let her be on this show for a full season, and then branch her out into her own show.
Wasn't that the whole purpose of introducing her in Arrow, was testing the waters to see if she'd be good on her own show, which personally I think she would be great in her own show?
Well, the point was their cartoon was testing the waters to see how it would be well received, and I think that her being on Arrow helped, and she might end up being on Flash. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But if she doesn't end up on Flash, she becomes a member of the Legends team. Let her, operate that way for a season.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I know what I would make as the next villain.
What's that?
Is I don't know what name they would introduce it under, but a DC villain, a magic user DC villain that has been around for quite a while. They probably introduce him as like they probably introduce him with a name that starts with M, but it'd basically be Morgan Le Fay's son. Whose name I'm forgetting right now. Mordred, yes. Because Mordred is a DC character.
Ooh. I don't know who he is with that.
And he's a major DC character, actually. Well, not major. Sorry, but they have used him in quite a few things. They've used him in in a lot of the Constantine storylines. They used him with Vandal Savage. They've used him with Phantom Stranger storylines. What else?
See, that's who I wanted on season 2 too.
Shazam, Dr. Fate, all those storylines. He's all involved in those.
Well, speaking of Dr. Fate, if they deal with a villain that has to do with magic in season 2, that could potentially open up the door to bring in Dr. Fate as a member of the Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes, and I was kind of hoping, but I heard the actor doesn't want to. He's not in the mood to do it anymore. The guy who played Constantine.
Oh, Matt Ryan? Yeah.
Well, I mean, they kind of fucked him over and over again, so I don't exactly blame him.
And they can't. Sure, they brought Constantine over on Arrow, but the only reason why they did that is mostly fan service. That's the only reason why they did that.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain we will never see him again on Arrow or Flash. And
well, that's because El Rey bought the rights.
Yeah, El Rey has the rights. So if they were to bring back, if anyone was to bring back the show, it would be El Rey Network. So it would be pretty much impossible for him to ever show up on the show again unless El Rey and the CW came to an agreement to share the character. Kind of like what Sony is doing with Marvel Studios and Spider-Man.
I just thought of something that would also be pretty cool. What if they are not going after someone? What if they're trying to protect someone?
Oh, that would be cool too. And you just keep switching time zones.
Yeah. They're literally, and the idea came because I was looking through Magic Users, and it reminded me of a book series that Neil Gaiman did called The Books of Magic. And I'm not saying they're going to take after the Books of Magic. But it gave me a thought in my head. What if they're trying to train someone and trying to get them to their full ability, so they're moving throughout time and throughout space, and they're going fucking everywhere, and they're being chased down because whoever it is wants to kill that person.
Huh. That would be pretty interesting.
I mean, the show has endless possibilities to do next season. And as long as they keep it in the same formula, we're good. I don't need more than 15 episodes.
So, yeah, if they end up sometime near the end of the first season introducing a character named Timothy Hunter, I fucking called it, because that's the name of the kid in Books of Magic. He's a 12-year-old kid who has the potential of being as strong in magic as Merlin was, which makes him the strongest magic user that's ever existed, even stronger than Dr. Fate. And so he's being trained by all these different magic users because he's only 12. He has the potential to be that strong, but he's not that strong yet. So he's being trained, and all the bad guys are trying to kill him.
Didn't you mention something along that storyline involving Zatanna and her father?
Yes, the Zatanna was one of the people who was training him.
And you can go to a year where she's at, Dude,
yeah, exactly.
Season 2 has endless possibilities depending where they go.
I think that would be very, very cool, but they'd have to get Neil Gaiman to sign off.
Okay, but, like we said, I'd love to see Zatanna in Legends of Tomorrow. That'd be awesome.
I'd like to see Zatanna, period.
Yes, I know that she's visually appealing and the fishnets and all that.
What are you talking about? I was just talking about I like magic.
Bullshit.
Whedon, you got a dirty mind.
Do you see that? Read that. What's that? That's a
vanishing
coin for a magic trick. I've got more. You want to see them? I like magic, bastard. All right, so let's close everything up. Do we have any wild speculation other than what we've just been talking about?
No, I think I'm all out of wild speculation at this point.
All right, and we went pretty wild on that one. In that case, I want to thank everyone for watching. Check us out at youtube.com/geeksoftheround or at geeksoftheround.com. Give us a call at 801-609-4687. That's 801-609-GOTR. You can also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, at Geeks of the Round, or send us an email at geeksoftheround@gmail.com. I want to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Boom.